Hi, this is Charlie and welcome to Friday's live trading video. Hope you're very well. It's just before 8 o'clock, quarter to 8, 10 to 8, and we're going to short this euro dollar. So I'm going to do it right now before I miss out on the opportunity. So I'm going to put some units in here. So it's just had a small rundown. Look, the trend overall is on the hourly charts has been up, but there is the potential for, there's a bit of negative momentum. There's potential for it to try and work its way down to maybe even its daily pivot, which is down at 27. We're currently at 39. Now, if I go to the hourly chart, I've put 2 units in at the moment. If I go to the hourly chart, you can see on the hourly chart the trend has been up, and so a lot of the time I wouldn't always take a trade like this, but it's not. I'm not looking for a big target. It's only down to sort of here, so I'm looking at the bigger picture, and it's reasonable that it could actually just go to there, even though this actually any pullbacks are potentially still buyable at the moment on this euro dollar potentially. So anyway, it's come up to my bands, and we'll see if it can then roll over. So let's bring up the deal ticket again. And I'll put another unit in. So I've got 3 units in at the moment. I'm just looking at all my charts off screen. I'll leave it at 3 units for now. So there's always the potential to put 4th unit in. So got in around about 40. Going to pop a stop up here, out of the way. I could put a stop just above this 5-minute 50, but I don't like putting them too tight. Let's have a quick look here. In out and out day trading terms, I could do that, but I'd rather give it that little bit more slack, put it up at 50, and so it's giving it a little bit more breathing space. So I'll pop the stop up here, just in case it just wants to get messy. So I'll pop the stop up here. Anyway, I shall press pause for now. Yeah, the target, like I said, will be down at about 20, just above 27, so it would be about 28 would be the actual target. So it's not a big target, but of course I could try and run like, I've put 3 units in. If it just comes down from here, then I could always make it, just try and run the 3rd unit maybe. But it's that's the way it is here at the moment with the euro dollar. It's not a big range. Actually, we'll talk about the ranges in a moment. I'll press pause for now. Yeah, so the overall range at the moment, I've just checked it out with the guys here in the room, and the guys are all sat here, as you can see. Look, there they are. Oops, if you can see them. So we're all sat here just saying good morning and stuff at the moment. The average range on the euro dollar is only 66 pips a day, per day. That's the range for every day. That's the average range per day at the moment. So it's not big, is it, as a range? I've said that now, and it'll probably go and have an expansion outside of its range today. But yeah, it's not been a big range on the euro dollar, and so that's why on a trade like this, we're just seeing a setup, and it's not requiring a big stop. But like I said, the hourly chart at the moment is still overall in an upwards trend. This is a bit of a pullback. We don't know whether this pullback will just be fairly shallow before it then goes higher. So hence why that daily pivot was only, like I said, at just above about 27.5. So it looks shallow enough for the market to do a pullback to there, or this whole zone. If it does then want to go higher, fine, we're already banked, if you see what I mean. So it's not a lot of pips. Oops, I don't need that chart. It's not a lot of pips, but that's where we're at. So for now, we shall press pause, and we'll come back to this as and when. Resume. Okay, we're nearly there. Okay, we're about to hit the pivot. I think we just hit it. We just hit it. So profits taken here at the pivot. I've actually had a limit order taken to come out already. So then I've just closed that entry there. So I've got 1 entry left. So this is the question: do we bank it? That final order, which I've got here as well. Let me just bring it up. Got 1 light left. I'll show you the P&L. You can see roughly the P&L because we're sitting on 66. I've basically banked £87 and £89 so far. So I don't know why this one's saying estimated 59. Oh, it's because I got out right down here. And so 2/3 banked. we're not playing with lots of money here this morning, but we could look at trying to run this final third. So I think that we might as well look at that because it's not been a lot of pips here this morning. So we might as well just see if it can get down that little bit more. Like I've said, it doesn't have to. That could be it, and it turns back up. But at the same time, we might as well. So the potential is for this at the moment to come all the way back up to 38. An 8 a.m. pivot has just come in. A 4-hour pivot's just come in up here at about 38 or so, 39. So the potential is still for it to come up there. But if it does come down to 21, now 21, if we come out to the hourly chart, is my this yellow line here, which is my 200 period moving average on the hourly chart. So it's an hourly 200. So if we can get down to that zone, then maybe we'll close the rest there. I don't have much of a view on this. I mean, could we run it forever and and just try and hold on? We could do, but again, like a lot of these trades, I try to, if I haven't got a massive view on the market, then I will just day trade it, and unless I have a view that all right, this is an opportune time to try and hold on, which sometimes I do, obviously. So anyway, we'll run it down to 21. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll split the final order, so at 21. So I'll bank half of this last ticket at 21, and then we'll just see with the rest, and just see if it can come lower than that. But I'm not overly expecting it, but you never know. So I shall press pause for now. Let's have a look then. Sorry, bring up the P&L. It's always funny on these videos, actually, because I always show the P&L and bringing it up, and so I'm just taking a screenshot of the account there, because as always I'm in other positions which I'm not going to show you. So anyway, so these are the positions, remember, we got into. I've got the 3 units in all around about 39. These are the 2 that I've just banked here. Both got out here at, got some positive slippage on that. I had an order at 28, so obviously got a bit of positive slippage on that. See, it does happen in your favor as well. Obviously this isn't moving because I've taken a screenshot. That's why this isn't, the open profit isn't moving now. But the reason I show that is because these Friday morning videos, they are, they're a bit of fun, and they're there for an element of entertainment as well. Obviously I'm trading on them, but it is a bit of an entertainment on a Friday as well, so that people can hopefully enjoy the videos. And but I always say to people, actually, in reality, you shouldn't be watching your P&L all the time. You should actually have your P&L closed off. And yet what I do on a Friday is go and show people the P&L all the time. But that's because it is an entertainment and people want to see what you're doing. But in reality, when you're trading, you want to have your P&L closed off. So you're not focused on the P&L, you're just focused on the trade itself. So let me just bring up a ticket, because we are coming down that little bit lower, and if we have a little flurry down to 21, the way that I have to do this, because I've got 100,000 short, I can't actually close half of it. So what I have to do is then buy 50,000. So that effectively closes half by I'm 100,000 net short at the moment, and by then going long 50,000, then that effectively nets me off to only being then short 50,000. So effectively bank half that way. But anyway, we'll see if it can get down there. It's just sitting around this pivot now. We'll see if it can come lower. Okay, just as I'm saying that, it's having a little blip there. Let's see if it can get down to this 200 whilst I'm talking. And as it's in this mode at the moment, it's got the momentum behind it, and so it's just doing these bit of a push at the moment. And so we'll just see if it can get down to that 20. So whilst I'm here on the mic talking to you, I say it's 21. It actually says 22 on my charts, actually, off screen. So 21.8 to be precise. So practically 22. So just see if it can get there. And now I'm waiting. You know what's going to happen. So let's just see, though. It's trying to nudge at the moment. And this is the thing. What we did this morning, remember, is we had negative momentum all the way out to the hourly charts. We had negative momentum. But it's negative momentum, but the trend overall has been up prior to that. So that's why the profits were banked fairly sharply once we got to the daily pivot there today. And that negative momentum is helping to push it down at the moment. So I try to follow the momentum where I can. And so, but sometimes the momentum might be in complete conflict with the trend. and so then you don't always take them. But anyway, let's just see. We're sitting just a couple of pips on top. I'm watching the charts off screen. A couple of pips on top of the 200 there on the hourly, so we're nearly there. So we'll see if we can get this final unit split, and then we'll take it from there. So we'll get this half of this this one lot trade that's still open banked, but if it can get down there, we're literally only about a pip or so away in real terms, because by the time you take the spread into account, then that's reality what it is. So let's see. I know I'm using up a lot of filming time at the moment, already on 10 minutes into this video, blimey. But I'm watching acutely here as we are sitting on top of this hourly 200, but it looks like I'm going to have to at some point press pause and then it'll probably go and do it when I've stopped the recording. But I think I'm going to have to do that whilst it's hanging around. But just give it a minute here, or just when I think it might be coming down, it decides to just sit around 24 again. But okay, I'll press pause. Okay, just back. It's just bouncing a little bit at the moment, but I just wanted to show you where that pivot was. I was just telling you where it was. This is the black line right here. So this is where we banked that profit around that 27 area, and so you can now see it's just stabilizing around that zone there at the moment. So that was what I just wanted to show you there, that we've got this. The overall trend had been up. The potential was to come down to the pivot, but it could just stop there. But we're waiting to see if it can get down to this 200, this yellow line here. Like I said, it's at 21.8. So by the time we pay the spread, I'm talking about really somewhere in the 22s, which would be what I'd be looking for on the deal ticket. But we have this the momentum. You can't quite see it, and I can't crunch it up. Yes, I can. Oops, wrong chart. Crunch it up a little bit. There you go. So you can see this momentum that's been there today, and it's been there across other time frames as well. But the momentum has been to the downside, like I said, but the overall trend is up. And so there's quite a lot of occasions. It's only because there was this opportunity here today. There's quite a lot of occasions when I wouldn't necessarily take a trade like that. When it's going counter to the prevailing trend. So there just has to be other factors in play. One of the factors was that this pivot wasn't that far away, so it wasn't asking much of this market, and it had the negative momentum, so it could do a little bit more of a pullback and then still turn around and go way higher again. And that's still something that it could do. So we'll but at least there was that potential for it to get to there. We're just now playing with this final third to see whether it could have got that little bit lower. Actually, and we'll take it from there. So anyway, I shall press pause for now. Okay, just back, been chatting away with the guys in the trading room here, and we can see what happened. So after we came down, it did turn around, came all the way back up. Remember, our stop was up at 50. But we have subsequently been starting to trail this stop down. So the stop now is at 44. So I've brought the stop down to 44, just a bit above these highs. Because we've done some reversals on the hourly. So take us to the hourly chart. So we've done like it says a spinning top on this chart anyway. So we did a reversal type bar, or indecision bar, shall we say. And we're coming up again a little bit here now. So we pulled our stop to a bit above that high. So if it's going to stop us out, that could happen relatively soon. It's had its chance to roll over. We'll see. Might still do it, but it might just want to take its time. So we're still giving it a little bit of slack by having the stop up at 44, and then we'll see from there. But I don't suppose there's too much more to add. Well, we have got some news coming out shortly on the pound dollar. So we'll be watching to see what happens with that through the news. So we'll have a look at that shortly. Okay, just back. So it did get stopped out on that last part of the euro dollar. So let's just bring up the final bit here. So this was I had the stop at 44. Maybe I didn't. I thought I'd moved the stop down to 44, but it was previously at 46, so maybe that's why I've got stopped at 46. I thought I'd moved it. Anyway, so yeah, so there's the final one. So lost 54 on that. So I don't know, whatever that amounts to. I don't know, a very small gain for today. So there is a potential for a trade on the pound dollar here this morning, but I'm not entirely sure. So we're 15 minutes into the video. Yeah, we'll pause and we'll just see. Otherwise, we could be nearing the end of this video, so we'll just see. I've got to wait until 10 o'clock. Right, okay, just back finally, and it looks like cable. We were waiting on cable news. It's now 5 to 10. The news came out. We had a little flurry up, and it's just sort of petered off. So it's leaving a bit of a sort of another sort of spinning top type bar on the hourly chart. So a bit of indecision there. So we're leaving cable alone for this morning. So we'll leave it at that for today. Euro actually, as it turned out, did a complete reversal. So we had a nice thrusting move to the downside. Like I said this morning, though. It had the potential to just be a shallower pullback today. Would have been nice to have had that a little bit more off, but anyway, a nice enough little trade this morning. But as it turned out, it's had a nice run up to the upside. I shall leave you to it, and we'll be back in touch next week.